Let's see. Okay, it's linking us, but it always starts live before it even is on. So we'll just smile.
Amazing. There, we're in. We're live.
We're live. See, there you go. It's showing up now. Okay, we are live. Awesome. Hello, ladies. It is 7:34. We're coming in ready to serve you. So I am here with Marina and Tania from Verity. And we had chatted actually today because we recognize that so many things are happening in the world. And so we were supposed to do this workshop last week, and obviously it was not an appropriate time, and we really wanted to make sure there was focus on the important matters that were happening in the world. And so we chatted this morning. We go, should we do this, making sure that we're sensitive to what's happening? And after discussing, we decided that I know myself, and we talk about this within TLC all the time, in order to find clarity, we need to make sure we're in alignment and we're taking care of ourselves. As women, we are such givers, and we need to make sure that our cup is full before we can serve and have the energy and clarity to move forward in whatever's right for you. So we wanted to focus on that this evening with these professionals and chat with you and give you tools on how to care for yourself and how to really create this, at-home oasis within self-love and all beauty and all that jazz. So I know most of us are still in quarantine, and that's why we had decided to do this workshop before, to give you all the at-home care information. And I know when we're able to come to the spa, we will be there with, flying colors. And we actually have a contest right now where we're giving away 2 pedicures and bubbly to Verity in Toronto. So if you're in the Toronto area, I'm going to link the contest below and above, and we'll talk more about that. But without further ado, I'm going to give you Marina, and she's going to talk about what Verity is and why they're here with us tonight and partnering with TLC to give you ladies more value as we continue to grow as a community.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And hello, everybody. Thank you for hosting us, Vanessa and the ladies community. And thank you to those of you that are joining us from wherever you are. I'm Marina McSherry. I am the fitness and spa director for Verity and Sweetgrass Spa. I am joined by my colleague, Tania, Geetika, Ibrahim, who is a holistic nutritionist. She's an herbalist. She's an Ayurvedic practitioner, and she's also studying acupuncture with a focus on women's reproductive and cosmetic. So pretty amazing stuff that she's working on. She will be going over a few lovely self-care practices that we can be doing right here at home. As we really feel that there's a big importance on focusing on ourselves so that we can be more powerful for those that are in need. And sometimes that's us. Sometimes we're the ones in need. So we need to really focus on ourselves so that we can have that strength for all of the pains that are going on in the world, whatever is going on for the individual. So from there, I'll be going over a few of our favorite clean beauty lines that we carry at Sweetgrass Spa. But you probably want to know.
People order those online too. If they're not from Toronto, can they check them out online?
So at this point, we can do curbside. I'll offer you can just email Sweetgrass Spa, concierge at sweetgrassspa.ca. It's all on our website. So from there, you can just email, it comes to me and we can arrange that. Unfortunately, we don't have an e-commerce platform as of yet. That was a bit much to pivot in this time, but we do have a new beautiful website that we just launched and we're really proud of. So definitely take a peek at that. So just to explain who we are, what we are. So Verity is a private women's club, and it's filled with a diverse member base. So it was created it was for networking. It is for networking, connecting socially, and really building that balance between home and work. So we offer co-working spaces, event spaces, meeting rooms, a beautiful members lounge, along with 2 private courtyards that are all catered by one of our top restaurants, George Restaurant, for you to bring clients or friends or family, or just sit alone with yourself with a beautiful book or a glass of wine or a nice green juice. So it's a beautiful, beautiful club and very, very special. We are actually 4 businesses, and we operate at over 65,000 square feet, right in the heart of the city. So the 4 businesses would be Verity itself, so the women's club, one of Toronto's top restaurants, George Restaurant, the Ivy, which is a 4-room boutique hotel, and Sweetgrass Spa, which is a 15,000 square foot women's day spa. We kind of like to call it the urban oasis within the downtown streets of Toronto. So we've joined forces with you, with the ladies community, which we're ecstatic about. You can find more on the ladies community website, but we've got some great perks for you to come in and enjoy, and more to come, including our
We're going to come do an event too.
Yeah,
we were planning one before COVID, but we're going to come do a spa day at the Verity, so you ladies can all see, and that'll be super fun.
I think we're going to
need it.
Bathrobes and bubbly, so super fun and excited for that. And yeah, just excited to see more of you in and really offer what we can for you, because we are growing and we are really excited. So
just to be clear too, with the club, that you can go to the spa and not be a member. Just so you ladies know, it's not, just so you don't get confused.
Yeah, exactly. So there's the private women's club, which members come and go throughout the spa, but the spa is open to the public. So there's a beautiful spa lounge. There's a lounge around the pool area. You can come with a book. You can, we'll be doing a great promotion for the ladies community on just a water pass to come enjoy the pool, the sauna, the infrared sauna, jacuzzi. Just come with your book and just be. So yeah, so it's so special. It's so beautiful. And Tania here is going to be, she's already offering some great services in there, and I'm just gonna let her take away and talk with her brilliant guidance. Take it away.
It's really so great to be able to do this and to have this sort of platform to connect with everyone. It's been a difficult time for a lot of us because we're somewhat feeling a little isolated, but with these great platforms and these communities, we can really connect. And I think that's just such a vital part of our health and our wellness. We talked a little bit about, rethinking or questioning, is this the right time for this kind of a talk? And the one thing that kept coming up for me when I thought about it was that, beauty is self-love and self-care. And we all need a little bit more of that gentleness and that kindness towards ourselves and to others. It makes us better listeners when we are able to be grounded and aligned. And we can only really be grounded and aligned when we're offering ourselves that self-care. So if you're going to listen and you're going to hear what's happening and you're going to partake or you're going to express, then why not come from a place where you're leaping off from a really great foundation. And I think caring for yourself is the best foundation you can come from. And then what we're going to talk about here is how you can do it at home and how you can do it for yourself. So that automatically empowers your self-care. It recognizes our needs towards wellness. It's really engaging in terms of supporting stress, whether that stress is mental or emotional or physical, whether you suffer from anxiety or whether you're going through a difficult time spiritually. All these sort of self-care techniques can really address that. And it's a really physical thing, because sometimes we think that self-care is not tactile, whether it's, meditation or that sort of thing. But this is a way that you can engage with your own physical self and really feel what's happening with your body. So I'm going to show you a couple of points that are acupressure points where you can actually feel tension, and then you can go back and check to see what's going on and how it shifts. So making yourself a priority is really important. I mean, this body is our vehicle. So, you know, we've got to make sure the car is running well so it can get us to where we want to go, which is what, you know, Marina and Vanessa both said earlier today. So I think that's kind of the best place to start. I'm going to talk a little bit about the skin, not to give you too much information, but our skin is our largest organ. And sometimes we make the relationship between skin and beauty and maybe vanity. But in reality, in terms of a wellness perspective, whether it's from a traditional Chinese perspective, an acupuncture perspective, Ayurveda perspective, the skin really tells a lot about what's happening in our internal body. It really expresses what's happening with our detoxification organs, like our liver and our kidney, our digestive system. So it really gives us a lot of signals. Not to mention, it's our first line of defense for our immune system. So during all of this COVID, stuff going on, and also, you know, the situation in the world today, our stress affects our immune system, and we often see it through our skin. So taking care of our skin is really important because of that reflection. It also houses our lymphatic system. Not to get too scientific or into too much biology, but our immune system and our lymphatic system are one and the same. It's throughout our entire body. We have different concentrations. So for women, our breasts are, you know, very important for lymphatic movement. Behind the ears, our throat, in between our legs, closer to the pubic area. Those are all areas where we house a lot of lymphatic glands. And those lymphatic glands actually need a pump to move those vital fluids throughout your body. Unlike the heart that has a pump for blood, the lymphatic system doesn't. So if we're really stressed and our immune system is working over or is overworked, you're going to find congestion and stagnation in those areas. And one area that we have tons is right here on our neck and shoulders, our breasts for women, and our chest. And that all affects the skin and the face. So when you're enjoying a beauty treatment, or whether you're enjoying an acupressure treatment or gua sha, which I'm going to be showing you today, know that you're supporting more than just your skin. You're really putting time and energy into overall self-care, and you're supporting your internal system as well. So I'm going to show you a couple of different tools, just as things that I like to use, and then I'll go through a little mini tutorial with gua sha. So this is a lymphatic brush, really great for moving the lymph system around. It's very gentle strokes. It's excellent before exercising, and it awakens the lymphatic system, and you're always brushing gently up, sometimes in circular motions, but always upwards towards the heart, which creates flow and oxygenation and circulation.
Does it have to look like that, or can you just use a regular loofah?
You can't use the loofah. It's actually a dry brush, so it's not wet at all. It's a different texture. So these hairs are a little bit more tough. And because the lymphatic system sits right underneath the skin, it's right underneath, so you don't really actually have to press too hard to touch it. This kind of really opens it up.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, a loofah can work as well. It's not to say you can't use it.
Yeah, you know how some of them are pretty hard.
Yeah.
Deep now, so I wasn't sure if it kind of does the same thing.
Sort of similar, yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
But you know, lymph brushes are great because you can have one and just clean it off with a cloth on a regular basis, and you'll have it for life. I think I've had mine for like 5 years now, so cool. It does a wonderful job. Another really kind of cool gadget is this guy here. And no, it's not a diaphragm or anything else. It's interesting because of the shape, but it's actually made out of silicone, and it's a cup. So this is for facial cupping. So you can see that it actually sticks quite well. You definitely want to use oil when you use a cupping technique. I'm just going to put a little bit here on my arm just to show you. So what you're doing is you're squeezing the cup, placing it down, and then moving it forward. Now, cupping can be really invigorating for people who have a lot of stagnation. So that could be chi stagnation, that can be blood stagnation. If you've got a lot of tightness, even in the shoulders, it's a great way to move it. I like to use this tool also for cellulite. And yeah, absolutely. So cellulite is a lymphatic, it's related to a lymphatic condition. And so there's a lot of dampness in there. And so with movement, we're looking at bringing a little bit more heat, a little bit more fire. It breaks that kind of stuff up. I really like cupping a lot. A lot of people don't use it, but it's becoming much more popular now. I think we've noticed a lot of athletes are using cupping for massage and for muscles and aches and pains, but it does wonders for your skin as well.
So if you go back to this area that you mentioned before, Tania, in your neck and your shoulders, what direction should you be cupping?
So, you know, we generally like to move any edema or any swelling or any lymphatic stagnation down so it can recirculate. You don't really want to move it upwards towards the face. Although when you are doing gua sha or even cupping on the face, you want to move it upwards because you're trying to lift the skin. When you have stagnation here, you want to move it through and you want to move it down. So it really changes depending on what you're trying to do.
Okay. Well, and I know a lot of women are probably wondering this cellulite thing. Which direction do they go for cellulite on the legs?
So I would move it upwards again towards the heart.
Okay.
Yeah, always
Cool.
towards the heart. Also, think about it from the perspective of gravity and moving things downwards. When you don't have enough of that pump, the fluids settle downwards. We want to remove them. So just think about it as removing it into the circulation and then having it run through the body properly.
Yeah. Cool. I know what everyone's doing this evening.
It's always such a hot topic because people think that, you know, there's nothing you can do, but cellulite is really about stagnation. So moving it through, whether it's through exercise or through like self-manipulation, is really, really helpful and beneficial.
Fun. Okay, so, I want to see before and after pics, ladies. This is going to be a good little experiment.
There's really so much you can do, and you can actually layer some of these tools, so you don't have to choose one or the other. You can also rotate depending on what you feel like. When I only have 10 minutes, I mean, I'm grabbing this guy because it covers a large space. It's easy to do before I work out. It's great before a sauna. I know a lot of the women at Verity use it before they pop into to use the spa space. So yeah, really, really quick and easy to use.
So then how often can you do both of those tools and techniques?
Yeah, the great thing about this self-care is that you can't get it wrong and you really can't overdo it. Think about it as touch therapy. You know, the more that you touch your body or touch yourself, you're not really going to harm yourself. It's not really invasive. Your body will respond. You'll hear when it's a little bit too much, just as if you were getting a deep tissue massage. The pressure might not be exactly what you want, so you adjust. You can do it every day. You can do it 5 times a week. You can do it a couple times a week, or you can do it when you have time. I like to do dry brushing before I work out. So that's usually in the morning. A lot of this other self-care ritual, I don't have time in the morning. So it's not really my go-to, but I do like to create a little bit of a ritual before bedtime. So setting a space, I would say, is really great because remember, you're kind of washing off your day. I know that a lot of us have read, you know, Girl Wash Your Face and all these kind of great books that are out there. I know Marina's read a lot of that and shared a lot of those books with me, but it's really true about making space for your own self-care. And a nighttime ritual can really hit that home. So having that time in the evening to light a candle, you know, perhaps use some Palo Santo before you start your ritual, or just have a routine makes a big difference because it almost becomes such a ritual that you can't not go to bed without giving yourself that time and kind of getting the day off. So I definitely like to do it in the evening. The next thing I'm going to show you is the gua sha tool. So this is the gua sha tool. This one is made out of rose quartz, but a lot of them are made out of different stones. We like to use natural stones because of their ability to temper their temperature with your body. Some people have said pop them in the fridge, but we don't want to do that for two reasons. One, when the stone is cold, it can stay cold and it could constrict your face if you're trying to move something through. So it just depends on what you're trying to do. So I'd say as a general rule of thumb, just keep it room temperature. Is it kind of a good way? And then also depending on the stone itself, sometimes they crack when you pop them in the fridge. So you really don't want to do that. There's a few different sides to the gua sha stone. And you'll see that this side is really great for triggering muscle movement. This surface here is great for a larger surface. And then this is great for the back of the neck. So a lot of people with gua sha forget to do the back of the neck. And I really think it's a mistake because that's, again, where all of our tension is. So I'm going to show you just a quick tutorial that you can do at home. And I really like to use as clean products as you can find. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but there's a great, I'm going to use the Sahajan serum right now. It's one of my favorites. And I really encourage you not to do the gua sha without using an oil or a serum because you need that kind of slip. Otherwise, you're pulling and tugging at your face and you really don't want to do that. So you place your oil or your serum, not just on your face, but also on your neck and your shoulders, because you'll see as we move it down. The other thing I like to do is take a little bit of essential oil. So for me, my ritual is to take a couple of drops of an essential oil, rub it through my hands, take a deep breath in, exhale, release, and then just move it up towards the temples. So here are your temples, but we're going to carry it a little bit further to your secondary temple and your hairline. And that releases a lot of great endorphins. So again, so you want to do this a few times. I would say most of these movements you want to do about 5 or 6 times. So get on a routine that's your movement. And then what you do is you grab your tool, and we're going to start just from the neck here. And so I'm going to use this divoted side here, and I'm going to pull up through the neck. So if you notice, I'm moving upwards because we have our jawline here and our jowls. You don't want to move that downwards. And then you just press in and slightly shake.
How hard are you pressing?
Oh, great question. So you're on different parts of your body, you're going to be pressing harder than others. So when we get to the eye area, it's really feather-like movements. The neck is a little bit more robust. And remember, we have lots of tension here. So you want to have a good amount of pressure. It's hard for me to give you a description, but it's like you're pressing in. So if you can feel that rebound right there, that's a good pressure for you. The other thing that works incredibly well with this sort of divoted side is the jawline. So pulling up. And the other thing you don't want to do is you don't want to go on a 90-degree angle. You want to sort of flatten out the tool and get more surface. So a couple of rules with gua sha is don't be afraid to use both hands. One hand acts as a support. The other hand moves the tool. Try to not push, but actually pull, because you're going to cover more of that lymphatic space. And then don't be afraid to use the tool in more ways than one. So I'm going to pull up through the jawline, and I'm going to actually take the point up through the ear. I'm going to go behind the ear, and then I'm going to pull down through the neck. I'm going to adjust my tool side. So now I'm going to use a larger side, and I'm going to go in through the neck and push out through the shoulders. So now what I've done is I've moved the lymphatic fluid upwards behind the ear where you have tons of acupressure points, down through the neck where the tightness is, and then the back of the neck out through the shoulder. So it's a really great movement. And if you can see, like, the movement isn't jagged. You're really trying to create flow. And I really suggest going slowly with the movements because you'll get more out of it. The other thing you'll get when you go slowly is you'll actually feel where the tension is. So this is when we talk about self-care, it's also about learning your body, learning what it's saying. One day you might notice that you have more tension here, and other days you'll be like, oh, it's really loose, it's really doing well. I've noticed the correlation between possibly who I was around or what I was doing or what was going on. So another great way to use this tool is jowl lines here. And also keep in mind that, like, these areas of our face are an indication of different parts of our body. So again, not looking at skincare or, you know, self-care as just vanity, but it's our insides reflect through our outsides, and our skin is an indication of that. So we should be really looking at it as a tool for our entire wellness and not just one aspect of it. So I love this because it actually depuffs the skin, moves the lymphatic fluid up. And you're covering quite a bit of ground there, right? So you've got all this area from the nasal labial fold all the way up. Don't be afraid to use your other hand. And if you notice, like, I'm pulling, I'm not really pushing, I'm pulling the skin up. And then you can go into this sort of delicate eye area by holding, and again, lighter movements through here. But you're bringing that attention. And what this actually does, why gua sha works so well, is because it's like acupressure. It's manipulating the body. It's bringing attention to the area, which brings blood flow, which brings chi movement, so chi, vital life force energy, and it removes stagnation. And then, you know, for my, like, adorable little 11s, I pull this up. Now, your forehead is quite robust, so it doesn't need a lot of support. And then you can go up into the hairline. And this is sort of just like a very quick tutorial on it, but you can also go over the eyebrows. This is great if you've got tension headaches or one-sided headaches, migraines. Excellent for that as well. And then you can always pinch up through the eyes. Other areas you can pinch is right here. Follow the skeletal system, like under. So if you notice, here are the pockets of your eyes. If you press down as hard as you want, your face can take it. It's a good release. So if you push and release, you can feel the blood flow come back. So push and release. Another really great spot is just under the nose, above the lip. And in traditional Chinese medicine, this is a great point for consciousness. So when you're feeling yourself really tired, this is a really great point. Push there. And as I mentioned, your temples, and then up a 45-degree, you've got a secondary temple. So you can find that little divot. A lot of acupressure points, they actually, your fingers will fall into a natural divot. I don't know if you guys can feel that. Yeah, you've got that natural divot right there. They're great for tension headaches. And then, you know, use your gua sha tool also to open the chest. Great for stagnation in the breast area, breast tissue. There's a whole gua sha movement and acupressure for that as well, but that's just a little bit of a sample of what you would do at home. The most important thing with gua sha in general is that, like I said, you're not pulling the skin, you're not pushing the skin, you're pulling the skin, you're opening it up, and you're moving that lymphatic system. The other thing you can do is just make sure that you're using a good, clean product, because you are moving lymphatic fluid. And so if you're moving lymphatic fluid, you don't want an exogenous toxin coming onto your skin and then soaking into your body, and making what you're doing sort of futile. It pushes against each other. So I really recommend looking at your beauty products and choosing something as clean as possible. A great website that you can log on to if you're not sure how clean a product is the EWG website. So it's ewg.org. Go into the skincare portion, and it's the environmental working group, and it rates every single, I've almost found every single product that I've ever looked for, from shampoos to skincare to deodorants, really rates them between 1 and 10. And you can really see where that lines up, because there's a lot of information. Sometimes we don't even know what to look for. Something we perceive as really clean beauty often isn't. So looking at things like that, I think is really beneficial to your overall health. And also in this time of change, in this time of awareness, I mean, people are waking up and looking at things that don't really serve us anymore, and using their voices. This is a really great way for you to use your voice in an eco-conscious way as well, knowing what you're supporting. So I love that website for that. Yeah.
That's awesome. One other question, because I know a few women in the community have asked about, Botox or fillers and stuff. Yeah. How does the gua sha work with that? And is that something people should be conscious about?
Sure. I think if you've had fillers or Botox done, one of the key things that they tell you is not to bring too much attention to that area, because your body absorbs the Botox and eventually it leaves, and then you redo it again. So it goes back into your system. So the more that you move and put pressure on that area, it could interrupt it a little bit. So I don't love to do a lot of gua sha on areas where people have done Botox. But what I do like gua sha for is in between sessions, or even when your Botox is kind of at the end of its course. This will firm and tighten the skin so that when you do have a treatment, you're getting an even better outcome. So looking at it as a tonifier for your face is a really great thing. And then for people who aren't really sure that they want to go that direction and want to see what they can do naturally, gua sha is a great way. Cupping is facial cupping, facial acupuncture, all great alternatives to naturally enhancing your beauty and your the glow to your skin, without maybe using something like Botox or fillers. But they can work hand in hand. It's just really about timing. So if you've just gotten a treatment done, you probably want to hold off on it and wait a little while so that you can tonify the muscles in the skin. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
And yeah, do you do all of these tools at the spa as well, or what treatments can people get done at the spa?
Yeah. So yeah, I'll just take over from there, because it's actually, there's a few new treatments that will be coming into play with a lot of this in mind. But one thing is we'll be starting a workshop series, and obviously this will be one where we'll have all the tools available. But that's part of the kind of that new opening, is that we get this opportunity to bring in all of these new, they're not new, new to Sweetgrass services and offerings that, again, we're really we're more than just a spa. We're this beautiful place for women to connect and learn and educate about their bodies and, what's going on with us, because sometimes Google doesn't answer that, or sometimes our girlfriends don't know that. I will tell you, I have an in-house Google right here, so I am very lucky wherever she is on this live. But yeah, so I learn something every time, so thank you so much. I just wanted to point out we do offer an array of amazing clean beauty products. Tania mentioned Sahajan. It's one of our favorite clean beauty products because it's actually the founder is one of our members, which is really cool. So she built this within the walls of Verity. So really cool, Toronto-based company, super, super clean. My favorite product is the Balance Toner. And why I love it is it has a moringa oil in it, which is a really powerful antioxidant, but it's also it's an anti-pollution cleanser. So, I mean, we live in a metropolitan city. Like, I'm out on those streets every day. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, what is coming at me? So this is part of my every single day regime, and it's just brilliant. Tania mentioned the serum, which is just one of the best serums I've ever used. It's so lush. But they're actually coming out with a face oil. So that will be perfect for the gua sha and cupping. So that's to come. They do have a body oil. Another really amazing one is Tata Harper. Tata Harper is a very high-end line, which is filled with beautiful botanicals and citrus fragrances and florals. And it's just a very, very beautiful line. And her whole mandate is that they're just really caring for not only people, but the planet as well. So really amazing stuff there. We also have La Spa, which is a mineral-based, organic, it's hard on here, but mineral-based organic sunscreen line, which we should all be using every single day. So they have a really cool little stick to throw in your purse, and then 20 and 30. And then the last one is Kaya Naturals, which is a super cool, again, Toronto-based company. These ones are the facial wipes, which are pumped filled with vitamins. So there's C, E, B12, which help just to break down impurities, not to mention jojoba oil, but they're biodegradable. And this is a huge thing with any kind of wipes out there, that like most of them are not biodegradable. And if you look at stats and studies, I'm not going to get into that. It's just appalling whatever our beauty care products do to our planet. So get on to some fun stuff. And of course you can find it at Sweetgrass. That's all we've got, but again, just please go to our website, sweetgrassspa.ca, check us out, join our mailing list. As soon as you join the mailing list, you'll be entered into the contest for to win a spa pedicure for 2, along with a glass of bubbly or a mocktail, if that's your thing. That's cool too. And yeah, check out the partnership that we have and follow us on Instagram. Of course, we definitely have lots to come, and especially the notice when our doors will open and we can have all of you there. But again, thank you so much, Vanessa, and to all of you for joining us, and Tania for joining me here. We're really excited for this. We cannot wait to open and meet everybody. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And Tania, thank you so much for taking the time to share all these beautiful techniques. And I love how genuine and how information-based you are, because it's with those tools and techniques that I believe we'll be able to connect more to our bodies and our heart and our consciousness so that we can serve the planet. And I love even what you said, Marina, about them being biodegradable. And I think, and just to end this little live, I think we're in such a beautiful time right now. And I'm calling it a revolution within TLC, because we're in a revolution of awareness, of consciousness, of, you know, how we treat the planet, how we treat one another, and really looking towards, you know, lifting everybody up as we go along, and the way we treat minorities and everyone within the community. So please keep us up to date. I know you ladies also have amazing programming. So keep us posted on those series and everything else that you have to come. And we will keep you ladies updated on our next bathrobes and bubbly event at the Verity. So I know when we did a post about it, 4 months ago now, I can't believe how fast it blew up. There was tons of you. So we will let you know as soon as that happens, and we'll keep you in the loop. And let us know as well in the comments if you have any questions, or you have any other information that you'd like to come on a live and give you that information. So reach out. I'm going to put all the links below and above. And thank you so much, ladies, for being here. Verity, Marina, and Tania, thank you so much for being here and for bringing your energy and light to the community. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is
Thank
great.
you. Bye,
Thank
ladies.
you.
Bye.
Bye.